So, I have one final topic to talk about on the show today. I wanted to address the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, in 2020, this past year, obviously, I was wrong about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be an 8-8 football team. I felt they were not going to be very good. I did not believe in Ben Roethlisberger coming off a serious injury, and I was flat out totally wrong. The Pittsburgh Steelers proved me wrong. They made the playoffs. They had a great season. They won 11 games. Heading into an NFL season, there are certain teams out there that are probably not going to suck. Those teams include probably the 49ers, probably the Green Bay Packers, probably the Baltimore Ravens. I put the Pittsburgh Steelers in that category. Meanwhile, you got teams like the Jets, teams like the Jaguars, even Washington a couple of years ago, where you said those teams are probably going to be picking in the top 5. That's just how things work. But Pittsburgh, they're a relevant franchise, and they're a franchise you probably should bet on at least being relevant for the most part during a season. And it's pretty clear to me that I doubted the Pittsburgh Steelers, and also it's pretty clear to me that the clear-cut, most well-run and stable organization in all of football is the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least I feel that way heading into the 2020 NFL season, okay? People could say, what about the New England Patriots? The Patriots just lost Tom Brady. They fell off a cliff, okay? Well, maybe not off a cliff, but they were an irrelevant team this year without Tom Brady. If Bill Belichick and Tom Brady don't somehow find their way to New England, is New England even a relevant franchise? I don't think so. You look at Kansas City. Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been to the Super Bowl the past 2 seasons. Okay, that's fine. But 10 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs were a laughingstock. Here's why the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, are the most well-run organization. We could forget about the fact that they've won the most Super Bowls in NFL history, tied with the Patriots for most Super Bowl wins in NFL history. We could talk about the 8 Super Bowl appearances for the Pittsburgh Steelers as a franchise. But in the last 20 years, you know how many losing seasons the Pittsburgh Steelers have had? 1. They've had 1 losing season in 19 years. Well, in the last 20 years, I should say. You know what that tells me? That tells me they are a stable, well-run organization. They draft well. They develop players really well. They re-sign those players. They don't just let them go. They actually keep the guys home, They make trades. They take risks, And they understand what it means to be patient. They're going to allow players to develop. They're going to allow coaches to establish their culture. They're not just going to fire a head coach after 1 bad season. They're not just going to bail on a player after maybe 1 bad outing or 1 bad season, They allow these guys to develop. And the thing that terrible organizations do is they bail on players and they bail on head coaches way too early because they think everything's a quick fix. Oh, we'll get rid of this quarterback and we'll be good. No, you need to fix your offensive line. You need to fix your whole team. And you need to build an infrastructure. You need to build a culture. Oh, let's get rid of this head coach. Bringing in the next guy might be worse. I mean, we could take Ben Roethlisberger for an example. Ben Roethlisberger was a super-duper raw quarterback coming out of college. A lot of people had questions about his maturity. But what did Pittsburgh allow him to do? They allowed Big Ben Roethlisberger to develop properly. They built a great offensive line, a great defense, a great wide receiver core around him. And what do you know? Ben Roethlisberger, he becomes, I believe, one of the youngest players in NFL history to win a Super Bowl because he was given a great roster and a chance to develop. And by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers recently picked up Dwayne Haskins. He's a wild card. It's definitely a coin flip whether or not he'll even become a solid starter one day. But I won't be shocked if Dwayne Haskins turns his career around with the Pittsburgh Steelers because he's going from dysfunctional Washington to well-run Pittsburgh where he's going to get a chance to develop properly. They're going to put offensive line around him. They're going to put a good coaching staff around him. They're going to put a great culture around him. He's going to be infringed in great football, You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Haskins will have a fair shake in Pittsburgh. And I think that he has a chance to really turn around his career in Pittsburgh. The bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're a well-run, established franchise, and I think their track record speaks for it, And they're not one of those teams that's fallen off since the last time they've been a dynasty. The Dallas Cowboys were a dynasty for a stretch in the 80s, and they've fallen off ever since and have not been constantly in the Super Bowl picture. The Pittsburgh Steelers, ever since the Terry Bradshaw days, they've been in the Super Bowl conversation for a good amount of time, you know. They're still a relevant franchise, and people can say, oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers led by Mike Tomlin are noisy. Folks, there's noise and smoke within every organization. The Seattle Seahawks, Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson sometimes don't get along, okay? Russell Wilson just literally called out his entire offensive line and his entire organization. That's noise to me, is it not? Why are we not talking about Russell Wilson more? We could talk about the Green Bay Packers. Oh, Green Bay, they're a quiet place. No, they're not. They've had rumors about Aaron Rodgers ever since the guy's been drafted. It's always been something about Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad leader, which is, in my opinion, a really overblown narrative. I think Aaron Rodgers is actually a very good leader, but talking about Aaron Rodgers' leadership, Mike McCarthy, he doesn't seem to be gelling with Aaron Rodgers. Even now, people are saying the Packers don't believe in Aaron Rodgers because they drafted Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is the problem. There's a lot of things that go on in Green Bay that no one talks about. Even in New England, when Jimmy Garoppolo was drafted, there was smoke between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady that was talked about on sports shows daily, okay? They were talking about, man, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, are they going to get along? So I can let the Pittsburgh Steelers slide a little bit if there's a little bit of quote-unquote noise, because Mike Tomlin has to deal with erratic players like Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger, who are super-duper talented Hall of Fame level players, but they come with a little bit of drama. So that's how I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers, people. They're a well-run class organization. You know what you're going to get. If you're drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know you're going to a well-run, stable organization, and you have a chance to succeed if you show up every day and you do your thing. Same thing with coaches. If you bring bright ideas and you come with your best stuff and you show up to work and things of that nature, the Pittsburgh Steelers will give you an opportunity to be great. They get stuff done. They are the definition of a Super Bowl caliber organization. Kevin Colbert, their general manager, he's done a phenomenal job the past couple of years, and he's really good. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, at least for my money, are the most well-run organization in all football. They're very stable, no doubt about it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.